Here's the big news. Party over for Tupperware as it files for bankruptcy. Womp womp. A lot of you didn't even know that Tupperware was an MLM because you probably think, I have Tupperware in my house. No, you don't have Tupperware in your house. What you probably have is one of these other brands like Rubbermaid, for example, but you call it Tupperware because the brand awareness behind Tupperware has been historically so successful that it's become like the word Kleenex, where you might say, pass me a Kleenex. What you're really referring to is a tissue paper. Plastic container, you call it Tupperware. Tissue, you call it Kleenex, and so on and so on. But you actually probably don't have Tupperware because Tupperware has only ever been sold through a network of independent distributors having these Tupperware parties. Typically, it's women selling to other women in the living rooms. Here's how amazing the Tupperware is. It's indestructible, like the scene in Napoleon Dynamite where Uncle Rico goes to sell the container. It's kind of a parody of that, and he runs it over, and of course, it is destructible. Let's check this out. U.S. brand Tupperware has filed for bankruptcy as it struggles to survive in the face of sliding sales. The food storage container firm, don't call it an MLM, but all good. The food storage container firm said it will ask for court permission to start a sale of the business and that it aimed to continue operating. The 78-year-old firm has become so synonymous with food storage that many people use its name when referring to any plastic container. Last year, the firm warned that it may go bust unless it could quickly raise new funds. The company's shares have fallen by more than 50% this week after reports that it was planning to file for bankruptcy. Now, important to talk about, you know, I don't just come with the news. I come with the deeper layer, the deeper analysis. So I'm going to share something with you from our very own Ben Kenobi, the Merlin, the Gandalf of this story, Robert Fitzpatrick. Robert Fitzpatrick predicted this in an article almost exactly 2 years ago. November 11th, 2022, Robert wrote this article on pyramidschemealert.org. Extinction Alert, the plight of Avon and Tupperware. MLM is not and never was direct selling, parentheses, door-to-door retailing. Mass merchandising, big box stores, mail order, and then the internet, among other societal changes, killed off the old direct selling model generations ago. MLM promoters stole the revered old identity of direct selling to disguise the newly invented pyramid recruiting scheme, turning the salespeople into unwitting customers and recruiters. As part of that disguise, MLMs frequently pointed to two long-established and respected direct selling companies, Avon and Tupperware, as proof that MLM is, quote, direct selling. Both companies were members of the Direct Selling Association, which had been taken over almost entirely by Amway-type MLMs as real direct sellers went out of business or closed sales operations. Examples, Fuller Brush, Encyclopedia Britannica. These are the people who would literally go door-to-door selling encyclopedias. This is like ancient times. Both were cultural icons, Avon for its ladies and Tupperware for its parties. In the distant past, both had differentiated products with real consumer demand. If someone argued that MLM was not direct selling but a pyramid scheme, MLMers would counter, are you calling Avon and Tupperware pyramid schemes? This is a great point because, yes, these two companies did have a past of being actual direct sales. As a matter of fact, you may remember in probably the most culturally noteworthy example of Avon's historical presence and relevance, the movie Edward Scissorhands. Winona Ryder's mom in the movie is an Avon lady, and she's putting like the Avon products on Edward Scissorhands' face, and that's how she discovers him, by trying to sell her Avon up at the mansion in whatever the town is called, in Edward Scissorhands. Despite MLM's false portrayal of Avon and Tupperware as typical MLM, the sharp distinction between them and the MLM industry burst into public view in 2013 and 2014 when the two companies publicly quit the Direct Selling Association, charging ethics violations and DSA connections to pyramid schemes. Avon's long goodbye. Avon had been a true door-to-door direct seller for decades before MLM was invented. But as the door-to-door model faded and MLM emerged as its counterfeit legacy, Avon began a long decline. In 2000, Avon shifted its focus from paying for retailing to incentivizing salespeople to recruit more salespeople and getting them to buy inventory, MLM style. Again, whatever MLM claims to be true, the opposite is true. MLM claims to be direct selling, this legitimate form of person-to-person or door-to-door sales, which expired decades ago. It already went obsolete. It went the way of Blockbuster, and it gave way to technological advancements where now we have things like Amazon where there's virtually nothing you can't get within 24 hours with the single click of a button. And we're supposed to believe that there's millions of direct sellers out there selling shampoo and protein powder and essential oils, things that you can get for virtually the exact same quality, if not better, but for a cheaper price and more efficiently and quickly through Walmart and Target, which you probably have close to your home, or even quicker than that on Amazon. So not only is MLM not direct selling, but as a matter of fact, the actual historically proven direct selling companies like Avon and Tupperware that really were direct selling have become MLM. In 2009, during the Great Recession, Avon ran its most expensive ad in history on television during the Super Bowl.
If someone asks me how they can make money right now, I say, do what I'm doing. Sell Avon.
It's just a great way to earn extra money.
It makes sense to sell Avon. Avon is an American icon.
It propelled me into taking that leap of faith.
Avon is everything to me. I can't get fired. I can't get laid off. It's my business.
In my first couple weeks, I sold over $800 with Avon.
I used that to pay for all my bills, phone bills, and everything.
Avon changed my life. It can change yours too. Call your representative today and start the new year off right.
The ad never mentioned any Avon products. It only solicited salespeople. Actual lipstick was replaced by a fake income opportunity. Still, global revenue dropped continuously over the next 10 years. Avon's stock value fell from over $30 to just over $3. Avon quietly rejoined the Direct Selling Association, expressing no further public concerns about ethics or pyramid schemes. The Brazilian company Natura, which took over Avon's global business in 2020, has lost 66% of its stock value in the last year. The old Avon is now long gone. Robert then goes on to predict exactly what we're seeing now with Tupperware. 2 years ago, he said, Tupperware was one of the first party plan companies, which are technically a subset of MLM, employing an endless recruiting chain, but still more rooted in retail transactions at parties. Tupperware used to have a popular brand with innovative, differentiated products, but as true direct selling began to disappear, Tupperware went into decline. It added MLM-type health and beauty commodities to bolster recruiting appeal, but recently stopped offering them. Its core product line of kitchen-related goods are generally no different from types now available in stores or online. A 10 months income disclosure for Canada showed that half the party planners are classified as inactive, earning less than $30 for the period on average. 94% of the active ones reportedly received about $12 a week on average before expenses. Again, we can discern from this what we know to be true of every other MLM whose income disclosures are informative enough that we can actually decode them. And the truth is that, of course, mostly everyone was losing money. In the last 5 years, the stock value of Tupperware dropped 94%. This year, it began also selling its products in Target department stores. Its latest financials revealed significant losses and warned investors the company may violate loan agreements, setting off speculation Tupperware might declare bankruptcy. The specious MLM defense, claiming historical direct selling icons Avon and Tupperware as proof that MLM really is direct selling, is as extinct as those companies' old business model. Who can put it better than Robert Fitzpatrick? Of course, he called it. And during COVID, it was very unfortunate. And I'm sure many of you who had never heard of MLMs before COVID, during COVID, you heard of them. So many people got laid off. So many people were desperate, struggling for money, looking for an opportunity. But there were companies that managed to come out right around the time that these other things, crypto, NFTs, Forex, were already becoming popular. And they promised you that they could teach you how to make the most out of those things. And also we have this other side where you can recruit other people to recruit other people. And of course, they used the perfect storm of events to have such a huge surge during COVID. Now it's 2024 and the post-COVID era of MLM decay is in full effect. In the past couple of months, it's not just Tupperware that's filed for bankruptcy. We saw two of these big skincare MLMs, Rodan & Fields and Saint, not close down and file for bankruptcy, to be fair, but abandon this multi-level marketing model and go towards an affiliate system because, spoiler alert, it just doesn't work anymore. People are becoming hip to it. The anti-MLM movement, if you will, of informational, videos out there is so overwhelming that anybody who's gonna think about joining one of these companies just has to Google the name of it to find an overwhelming amount of well-researched, thorough, in-depth, and viral, successful videos explaining why and how it's a complete fucking scam. I mean, this is amazing, and we need more people to be making videos about this stuff because as I've said many times before, they can't sue us all. I should almost make merch of that at this point, a t-shirt that says they can't sue us all. Because it's true, their sales are slipping, they're already struggling. These companies are trying so desperately and will try so desperately to hold on to their control of the public narrative about them. And of course, they do that by suing people and harassing people and using these sort of Scientology-esque cult information control tactics. But the internet is undefeated as always. This isn't the 90s anymore. It's impossible now for them to hide the information. And that was how they got by for so long, silencing the people who did have the information and making sure the information wasn't easy to access in the first place. There was virtually no way to win. And even to this day, people, not going to name names or point fingers, people deal with lawsuits and threats of lawsuits and harassment and have to move to the other side of the world to protect their safety and make sure that their families' homes aren't getting their doors knocked on, and on and on and on. Now, you might be wondering, well, why was it Avon and Tupperware that he predicted going this route, but not all the other MLMs? Is this a sign that all the MLMs are going to go this same route? I don't think so. I think some of them have not only a lot of money in the bank and a lot of political ties that can potentially keep them going for longer, a lot of them have a much better disguise than these kitchen appliances, containers, products, makeup, skincare, etc. In my video about Patrick Bet-David, I talk about why the insurance disguise for an MLM company is the most genius, because there are so many layers of outward appearing legitimacy that it makes it very hard to posit the idea that it's a pyramid scheme, because they have all these layers of smoke and mirrors that make it look more legitimate. And when you peel all that stuff back, it is, of course, just another pyramid scheme. Go watch that video if you haven't seen it yet. It's one of my most viewed videos and one of my best, most in-depth videos, in my opinion. So that's the news about Tupperware. Tell me in the comments, what MLM do you hope to see go under next? Thanks for watching, and remember, don't join an MLM.